Setting up a brand new McHale V6 monitor. We're going to go through where the controls are, what all the buttons do, some initial settings, and what those settings do. I'm going to be talking about this monitor here, and I'm going to go through every step of the process. Actual Baler settings will depend on the customer's preferences, what he's trying to do, the condition of the crop. So we're going to do some default settings, but you always need to have in mind that when you're in the field, don't be afraid to make changes to make the machine do what you need it to do. That being said, we're going to go and start from the beginning and talk about the layout of the screen. The monitor, you have this big red button here, that's your power. These soft keys at the top, they change function based on what screen you're on up here. You have an auto and manual button. All McHale equipment is going to start off, when you power that monitor on, it's going to power on in manual mode. We'll go through that. You need to, the equipment is designed for you to bale, operate in automatic mode. So you're always going to want to switch that over into automatic when you start to use the machine. Next, you have your menu button. That's going to be important because that's where you're going to access all your settings. Everything that, any changes you want to make to the type of bale or the way the baler acts, you're going to address those under the menu button. You have this button here that's your net button. It also works as a pause feature. Basically, if you want to start the net feeding in automatic mode, you hold that button down for a couple seconds and it'll activate the net feature. In manual mode, it does the same. If you are making a bale and you need to pause the tying process for just a moment, say you have a little bit extra hay that you need to get in the chamber, you can touch that button after it starts beeping at you, and that will pause it until you let go of the button. You have a cut button. That cut button operates the net knife. You have a drop floor. That's a big feature of the McHale balers. This drop floor and this knife button basically work a priority valve on the machine that allows your hydraulics that you have that are operating the pickup head, in order to use those same hydraulics to work with the falling floor, and the knife button to move your knives in and out. And then down here you now have a hard button that is a release pressure button. You're going to use that if you're having trouble clearing a bale, clearing a blockage, or if you're going to do some service on the hydraulics of the machine. You're always going to release the pressure so that it safes the machine to work on the hydraulics. We power on by turning this knob, and initially what will come up is the splash screen showing the baler type and the software version. See, the baler starts up in manual mode. You have some features here on the screen that we'll walk through. You have some information in this bar. This information screen can be changed using this soft key right here, the little eye with a circle that rotates from bale counter, bale pressure, bale size, and then rotate it through. It gives you your voltage that you're reading, the number of layers of net wrap that you're going to try to apply, and the pressure that you're seeing in the knife system. You have another soft key here to drop bale pressure as well. It does the same job as this button here. Your Baler Layout shows the position of the baler at the time. This is an indicator of the net system, whether the net knife is up or down or it's operating. There's a counter that tells you how much net has been pulled off the roll. That's resettable. You have a position of the kicker. This will be up or down based on the position of the kicker. You have a bale bar here that shows your size of the bale as it grows, and your target bale size. The little tick mark beside it will give you the indication of the target bale size. And then up here you have your preset number that you're working with. We'll show you how to change that preset. The baler has 5 presets, A, B, C, D, and E. All those presets are independent of each other, and you can make changes to settings in one that does not affect the changes in the other. A and B are designed to be used in wet hay, so no matter your bale pressures, your core sizes, anything like that, the final 5-10% of the bale will be at max pressure every time in preset A and B. C and D will work the same way, but they do not do the max pressure seal off. E is the same as A, B, and C. Typically, E comes from the factory settings that are more typical of what would be used in straw or in a product in a crop that's hard to bale, hard to get that bale turning. So if you're having trouble feeding, or you think that it's a pressure issue, oftentimes guys will have E set up to use whether they're doing sorghum Sudan or a straw bale. Those lower pressures will allow the bale to feed, and from there you can find the optimal pressure to get the bale that you want.